Hey everybody, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball. We're back today with another project to share. So I am working on an Abracadabra pinball machine. This one is made in the mid 70s. I forget the actual year that it was made, but there was a local customer that I've gone to go help kind of refresh the machine. Several different things to try to get the game kind of standing tall. It hasn't been serviced in at least 20 something years, and gameplay is really pretty good, but there's a few things that needed some attention. And one thing I want to show today, this is actually one of the plastics. It's at the very top of the machine. I think it's, if those of you that actually are familiar with the game, I don't have it here with me. I've just taken some pieces back from the game because I'm doing some work on their location. They're about 40 minutes or so away from me. And this one piece of plastic is broken, and the customer's not replacing the entire plastics on the whole game. It is available, the whole kit is, but his plastics for the whole game are okay. There's a couple places that are broken, but right now he doesn't want to replace everything. But this one in particular is one that sits down underneath the actual plastic with artwork. Near the back of the game, and this just basically acts as a ball guide. But as you can see where it's taped here, it's broken. I don't know who taped it. Somebody, I guess, did a quick little tape job to try to repair it, but it's really not good. And what we're going to do, instead of buying a new whole plastic kit that he didn't want to do, we're basically just going to try to recreate this, and I'm going to show you basically what I do. And in this case, this has got a couple of standoffs that I think they should just pull apart like that. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that now, so I can get this other one off. There we go. And this is just spacers to stand this up off of the play field, and then also for the actual artwork plastic that sits above it. But what I'm going to do is trace this to this material and cut it out, and kind of shape up the edges, make sure it's all nice and smooth, and then basically reassemble everything. And what I wanted to at least just point out, this is actually polycarbonate material. It's 1/16 of an inch thick, and just to kind of verify everything that with what we're looking at with the original piece. It's 66 thousandths, which is right around 1/16 of an inch thereabouts. Yeah, that this has got a little protective film on the top and the bottom. That's why it looks kind of cloudy blue right now. That will go away. But yeah, see, this is coming in right around the same. So this material will do just fine. I've used this to go create various other little either protectors or other guides. I've also used 1/8 inch polycarbonate on some other things where I needed to be a little bit thicker. But this has been good for, like, even if you create a protector for existing plastics. So if you get some brand new plastics and you lay this on this and then just do a trace around it, and you're basically just cutting a little bit bigger. I've done that on some of my games to actually protect the plastics, and it seems like it's worked pretty well. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tear into this, and we'll see how it turns out. Now that we got the pattern traced out here on the polycarbonate, it's time to get out the bandsaw here and see if we can try not to make a mess of this. So here's the piece just kind of roughly cut, and it is indeed rough. As you can tell, just here looking close, see the little jagged edges all along from the blade, and there's some areas where I need to get in maybe a little bit closer to the line, or just need to kind of true it all up, flatten it out. So what I'm going to try next is basically just taking some sandpaper here, you know, like on a flat surface, probably really go maybe towards, you know, like this edge here, to where I can start to kind of shape things down and start to smooth out a lot of these really deep scratches. And then I'll probably take a Dremel just with a little bit of a buffing wheel on it, or I may actually take this over to my main buffing wheel and just work on, you know, just trying to improve a lot of these edges, get it really kind of shaped into the way that I want it and smoothed out. And then the next, after that, will be drilling out these holes, and then we'll be pulling off the protective film, and then we'd have the final product. Let's see how it goes. All right, now that we spent a little time on the buffing wheel and the little Dremel buffing wheel as well, I've got it closer to where I want. I mean, the edges, a way you can tell in the camera, but it has started to smooth out. There are still a little bit of, you know, some of the cut marks here, but just run my finger over it, it's definitely feeling smoother. And I'll probably sand on this maybe a little bit more, smooth it out just a little bit more, maybe even come in with a flame and you know, try a little bit of the flame polishing just to see if I can kind of flow in some of those little edges. Once that'll be like the final thing that we'll do after I've already, you know, pulled the protective film off. But next thing I'm going to do now is let's just go ahead and measure these holes that I want to get drilled in here. It looks like, well, they're right at about 1/4 inch. So we'll go ahead and get our drill bit out and get those holes drilled. Right, the holes are drilled. I think it's turned out okay. Not super crazy about this one. It looks like it actually wandered just a little bit. I put a pilot little dimple to try to kind of help guide it in the right spot, but it's a little bit off center. I think it's probably going to be okay. From what I remember putting this back down in the game, the way you tighten things down, I think I can maybe move this a little bit. If not, I'll have to see if I can open that up a little bit more, or worst case, just make a whole new one, but I don't think I'm gonna need to. So now I'm gonna try to go ahead and start getting this protective film off of it. And see how this looks. So let's get one side off, get the other side, come on. Let's see how this thing looks. Here we go. Come on. A little piece of something there. Yeah, not too bad. Let's see if we can get the little standoffs in here. Oh, and by the way, you're probably wondering, it's like, what about this one? This is white. It's got this opaque look. Well, I mean, I can actually take this and probably, you know, put a you know, coating of spray paint on it, some white, off-white paint. But I'm going to try not doing that because I don't know that I'm going to need to do that. I mean, make a little bit of a mess of it anyways, but probably wouldn't. But a reason I don't think I'm going to need to do it is the way this goes in this game and where the bulbs are and the actual artwork plastic that goes above it. This piece is really just serving it seems to be just serving mostly a purpose of kind of a ball guide, and not really too much from a lighting optical standpoint. So even though this white would help diffuse the light, I'm gonna probably, well, I'll still just have incandescent bulbs. That's what the owner has on this game, but I don't think it's gonna matter. So we're gonna try putting this back in, but there you go. There you have it. Thanks for watching.